Welcome to this episode of the Standing Ovation.
Something's really, really interesting is going on within customer satisfaction right now. And I actually recently read a report from the American Customer Satisfaction Index. And one of the things that they had actually stated in a recent survey was that they had surveyed people on customer satisfaction scores since, say, 2010. From 2010 until 2019, over 70% of their survey respondents had stated that their customer satisfaction had either flatlined or declined. But what was interesting is that they resurveyed these same people, and that in fourth quarter of 2021, 80% of those same customers that were surveyed saw still steep declines in customer satisfaction scores, even from their flat or slow and steady decline from 2010. And so I think that says a lot right now. It states really that customer satisfaction, even though there's a variety of new pieces of technology that are out and about right now, it is still not meeting the customer's needs. We've actually done our own survey at OvationCXM, and our CXM impact report actually showed the same exact thing. Not only were customers dissatisfied, but they were also less likely to stick around. And they've also been known to abandon onboarding processes of new products and services because they've been that deeply frustrated. Over 70% of our business respondents, we actually surveyed over 4,000 small business owners. Over 76% of those abandoned their onboarding process because they were frustrated. Now, we can unpack a lot from that, and I can dive a little bit deeper into it. 60% of those same respondents said, listen, it was just somewhat or extremely difficult to onboard, and we were frustrated. What we also saw, though, too, is there was lack of knowledge. They felt like they weren't being heard. They felt like they didn't have the information they needed to have a successful end-to-end onboarding process. And at the same time, they're also more likely to leave. They're giving themselves at least 48 hours before they would decide to leave. Over 60% of businesses that were surveyed said, you know what, after 48 hours, if I'm not heard, I'm walking. And I think that that's a big churn risk. And customer satisfaction is the way to win as we move forward. Right? You've got to learn how to, as a business, to keep your existing customers happy, and also decide on how you want to retain and earn new business. And time is of the essence. Customers do not feel heard, and they are ready for businesses to be able to provide them the experience that they expect. And if not, they are willing to walk, and that's going to be mighty impactful for your business. And with the state of the economy, the way that it looks, there's so much hesitation in 2023, especially the first half of this year. I don't think businesses can sit back and just wait for things to subside. I think you have to become very aggressive as an organization and really prioritize looking at how to make customer satisfaction better. I think what is really interesting right now is that even though customer satisfaction has not even improved even since 2010, it's not like there hasn't been a lot of data, right? Every tool and technology that is brought on in an organization has some form of data. And there have been other customer experience organizations that have provided great surveys to be able to survey customers and acquire even more information. But think about it this way. You can have data on a variety of touch points and specific systems, but they're all segregated. And then you have a customer satisfaction survey that's providing some information that, hey, customers had a good experience or a bad experience. And you may have a 70%, NPS score or a 30% NPS score, just throwing some numbers out there. But what does all of that mean? Because data and information is not always a one-to-one. And sometimes it's analysis by paralysis. And I think what we're seeing too is decision makers, senior business leaders at organizations, they want the data and they want the information, but they really want to know, well, how does it impact the business and what does that mean? And I think what happens sometimes is you can have a customer satisfaction survey that says, hey, they had a really bad onboarding experience. Where in the journey did that customer suffer the most? What part of the journey had the biggest bottleneck? And that is the thing that I think has been limiting and crippling customer experience and customer satisfaction for a really long time. And I think that's the beauty of what we're seeing, though, trending into a new category and industry within CXM technology, is that CXM technology, like OvationCXMs, it is dedicated to helping solve for that. I think journey mapping is becoming more and more critical as we go into 2023, because you have information that somebody's had a really bad experience. You have a variety of different other technology points that are providing miniature pieces of data, but none of it's showing exactly where in the journey something is broken. And by effectively mapping your customer journey, you're going one step closer to really trying to solve for and provide a great seamless end-to-end customer experience. But then being able to couple that and put that within an OvationCXM or just a CXM technology, what you're able to do is not only map the customer journey, you're able to track the customer journey in real time so that you can take some of that information and be able to bring it to your senior business leaders and show exactly where, in real time, mind you, in real time, exactly where that customer journey is broken. And for a variety of enterprises, you no longer serve a single customer by yourself. You have a variety of ecosystem partners that you are connecting with or collaborating with. Well, guess what? When you are doing customer satisfaction surveys or looking at data, it's not always telling you. It's at this point when you're talking to or passing the customer off to this business to help answer a question. And so with CXM, it's an aggregator, right? It's not only tracking your journey, building these great personalized journeys, tracking them in real time so that you can see exactly where and fix in real time when a customer is frustrated. But because it's an ecosystem aggregator, you're connecting all of your partner systems too. So from your internal tools to your third-party collaborators, every single person and tool that is influencing whether a customer has a successful journey and experience, you can see exactly what's happening and you can collaborate with those partners in real time to make sure that you're taking the data and you're taking the information and you're doing something with it. And I think that's a big differentiator. I think it's very hard in the past without CXM technology to take a variety of pieces of touch points and data and information and actually do something with it meaningfully in real time. And that is where CXM comes into play. And I think it is a big driver in success for businesses in 2023. Whether your goal is to retain your existing base, right, and just survive the 2023, or whether it's to grow aggressively in 2023, it's all going to come down to customer satisfaction and experience. Companies are still struggling with their existing tool stack, being able to provide a good end-to-end experience and improve customer satisfaction because they do not have the full breadth and capabilities to really do what essentially needs to be done in a customer's journey. And if you think about digital transformation has been a top priority for organizations for what, almost a decade now, if you were really to poll a variety of industries, and if you were able to look back at top trends in 2022 and 21 and 20 and 19 and 18, digital transformation was always a top 5. But it has made the customer experience and the customer journey more complicated. And here's why. In the early 2000s, you had CRM. And CRM was the thing to better your sales and marketing organization, the thing to really get all your customer relationship information. And then the 2010s became the niche technology. How to provide front-end better digital experiences, how to provide, great customer surveys and great satisfaction. The problem is that as all of these niche pieces of technology came on board since the early 2000s, they all serve one piece of a customer's journey or one piece of a customer's experience, but none of them connect seamlessly together. So you still have to toggle as a sales rep or as a customer service rep or as an AE, whatever your title is, you still have to toggle between a variety of systems. Therefore, if you're toggling between it, imagine what your customer is experiencing. And then you also, to the point that most customers are not just one business is not fully serving that customer. They have so many different partners now at play, right? Collaborating through a customer's experience. All of that is completely different touch points. So a customer naturally feels like it's 1-800 ping pong. They feel like they're in a pinball machine and they feel like they're being bounced around. And then you as the business are toggling between a variety of different systems to try to serve them, but you're serving them not fast enough. And you sometimes don't even know exactly where they are in the journey. And if you have a partner that is collaborating, you might lose complete visibility and insight into how that conversation is going. And so that has been a severe limitation to why your existing tools can't do it. And that's the reason why CXM technology, customer experience management technology, is a critical piece to where organizations can go. Because think about it as an extender of your existing tech stack. It's not there to replace what you have. It is there to optimize your existing tools. It is there to be that umbrella that is the buffer between the customer and all of the variety of internal tools and external partners that you have, and brings them all together as connectors so that you can have the seamless end-to-end experience. And guess what? It's also reducing operating costs. And it's also saving and driving more revenue and providing better wallet share as well, and stickier customer relationships. And you're getting more out of your existing tools, because it's extending that functionality and extending that use of that existing tool, connecting it with those partners, and you're getting more out of that stack because of the way that it was purpose built to do. It was purpose built to focus in on customer journeys. And the only way to have a great customer journey is if all of those systems and partners are working together. And that's what CXM technology is doing. Sometimes that impacts that customer's experience. So when making a purchasing decision, I think it's absolutely critical to do one of several things. Number one, find the right partner that can do more for you with less. So if you've already made technology cuts, it is super, super important to make sure you're getting the most out of all of that. And so when you're evaluating vendors, because maybe you've really bought in that CXM is the way to enhance that customer satisfaction, I would prioritize finding the right organizations that know and believe in customer journey mapping, and not just from a consulting perspective, but can they map the customer journey and provide you the tools to build those customer journeys? Because that's going to save you costs as well, so that you don't have to go and look for a vendor that is just a consultant for customer journeys. And there are those that are out there, but then you still have to find the right tools to fix those customer journeys. So I think look for the vendors that give you more. So look for the vendors that have the most connectors to your internal tools and to your partner ecosystem. That's going to help you stretch. It's going to help you get more out of your existing tools. It's also going to help lower your operating costs, because you're not going to have to go back to some of those existing tools and look to okay, what else do I try to add on feature functionality wise to get the most out of them? You've also got to look at the fact that you've got to find the right tool that's going to be able to, that prioritizes the journey mapping, that can allow you to build unlimited personalized journeys. I think that's another critical factor, right? Stop forcing all of your customers through one journey. Your customers want to be known. They want personalized experiences. They want to be heard. They want to be felt. They want to feel unique. So the ability to build unlimited personalized journeys, that's important. That's showing your customer you're listening. That's delivering the best, most optimal experience. So I think it's going to come down to journey mapping. It's going to come down to finding the right tool that not only offers the journey mapping consulting, as well as offering the journey building at the same time. And then who's going to have the most connectors to your internal tools and partner ecosystems so you can do more with less. And that's going to help drive down your operating costs. It's also going to increase the amount of revenue that you're bringing to the table as well. And at the end of the day, customer experience matters. And when customer experiences have been in sharp decline since 2010, and it hasn't shown any signs of even a slight uptick up, what do you have to lose? And I think that's the question that every organization needs to ask itself, what do you have to lose? And it should be a friend to your IT resources and your IT team. This isn't a rip and replace. CXM technology is a friend to your IT team because it's giving you more features and functionality and ability out of your existing stack. It's connecting, not integrating, but connecting if it's done right to your existing stack, making you go up and go live even faster. But it's also, at least with OvationCXM's technology, shameless plug, but with OvationCXM, it's real-time change, and you're not relying on release cycles, and you're not relying on sandbox environments to test and deploy once every 6 months or a year, or just depending on when your existing tools are doing their cycles and their upgrades. OvationCXM's that nice umbrella underneath, above those internal tools that are underneath. And therefore you're able to do more, and you're able to make change on the fly with low code, no code. And that's an absolute friend and, super weapon or superpower, I think, for an IT team that's looking to provide really good ROI back to the business quickly. That doesn't mean that they have to figure out how to force it into a release cycle. One of the trends that we're seeing in marketing, for instance, I'll use marketing as the great scapegoat because I'm head of marketing and I dive into all of this research all the time. One of the things that we're seeing is that 70% of a buyer's decision-making happens entirely online, and they want to do their own research, even in pricing. They want to do their own research on what the ROI, what is this business going to do for me? Am I really going to be interested? What customers are using it? What logos do they have? What features and functionality they have? All of those pieces that a buyer considers before they sign on, all of that stuff is happening online. And the reason I'm tying that into customer experience is, in marketing, that's what we've dedicated ourselves to really fixing and doing. Every year, it's what's the next best thing? What's the next greatest thing to give these buyers and decision makers as they're evaluating new technology and making decisions? How can we give them more? How can we give them more thought leadership? How can we give them more case studies? How can we give them more videos because they like to consume videos better than another email in their inbox? We're always thinking of the latest and greatest to be able to provide that great marketing experience, to give you everything you need on a silver platter to make an educated decision before you speak to us. But it should never end there. So as a business, it should be every single department, because every single department in a business touches a customer, whether it's marketing, business development, sales, an onboarding team, a customer support team, you name it. There are a variety of different departments that own some part of a customer relationship. And so I think it's really, really important for every owner of some piece of that to be bought in and be on the same table. To really understand what's going on, to have the conversation. How have our buyers changed over the years? How are we delivering what these buyers want compared to what they're expecting? Is it on par? Is it completely skewed? Do we need to bring something new to the table? And I think that's very important. And I know within marketing and within what we do every day, that's something that is super important to us, to really understand who we're trying to reach and make sure we give them what they need to help make their decisions. But when that customer comes in, it needs to be just as seamless, and it needs to be just as innovative and intuitive and easy and informative. A customer wants, whether they're making a buying decision, an onboarding decision, a customer success retainment decision, it has to be an end-to-end seamless experience. And I think that we all, as businesses, no matter what industry that you're in, we all have to take ownership of that throughout every single department in your organization.